Hi friends, welcome back to another session of EC Made Easy. We are into our first part of second section where we have already seen how an RC circuit and RL circuit behaves with the changing frequency of the input, and we have seen the filtering actions. More interesting concept is when we talk about a LC circuit. In the previous two circuits, one of the components was energy storing and the other one was energy dissipating. There, R was energy dissipating component, whereas C and L were energy storing components. C stores energy in the form of electric field, and L stores the energy in the form of magnetic field. So that was a concept where one of them was energy storing and the other one was energy dissipating. Now it's a special case when both the components are energy storing. One stores in the form of magnetic field, other stores in the form of electric field. And wonder of this LC circuit is created when we have these two components connected in parallel. Series also something happens. So currently I'm not interested in that series part. So let me take up the parallel part. So this L and C are connected in parallel, and this parallel combination is going to create wonders. How? That's what is this session for. Hello, friends. Welcome to this session. I am Sandeep. Let's see how this CLC circuit creates wonders. So, to begin with, let us assume that our capacitor is already charged. Somehow, the capacitor was made to charge. So, some current was made to flow through capacitor, and hence it is already charged. So, let me call it voltage across capacitor VC. So this circuit now has got only one component across which there is some voltage. And as we have seen in our earlier circuits, there used to be a battery or a power source which will be in the opposite direction, and hence they cancel each other. So the net potential difference across the loop would be zero, and hence we would say that it was in equilibrium. Now what is happening is, no, this is not in equilibrium because there is potential in the loop and there is no opposing potential which is cancelling this one. So this makes the current to flow. So that is our standard version, that voltage is there, so current should be there. But in reality, if you look at physical way, then on this plate there are excess electrons are there, and this plate there's a deficiency of electrons. So before starting this experiment, we have said that this is already charged. That means through some means, some electrons are stripped out of this plate and pumped into this plate. Therefore, this plate is positively charged because of deficient electrons, and this plate is negatively charged because of excess electrons in comparison with protons. So here number of protons are excess, here number of electrons are excess compared to the other element, and hence there is imbalance, and because of which there is electric potential, and this whole is the one which initiates all the actions to be discussed now. So we have excess electrons on this plate, which definitely doesn't want to be with that condition, because any material wants to have equal number of electrons and protons, so want to be electrically neutral, and hence this plate always tries to pump out the excess electrons it is having. And there is a closed path here, and this closed path definitely will allow these excess electrons to flow through. But when these excess electrons are flowing through, yes, there is a current. In the beginning there was no current, and when this connection was done, because of imbalance on these plates, current starts flowing, and this change in current is opposed by inductor. The change in current is opposed by inductor, and whatever change in current is there, it is stored in the form of back EMF, or it's getting stored in the form of magnetic field. So this process of electrons shifting from here to here continue as long as excess electrons are here, deficient electrons are there here. Therefore, all excess electrons will move back, and finally both the plates will become electrically neutral. So what should happen now? Yes, definitely the process should stop. But no, that's not the case, because now there is magnetic field around the inductor, and this magnetic field around the inductor will not allow the current to suddenly stop. The magnetic field here, that's a property of inductor, that it will not allow current to change. So some current was allowed, and that current cannot suddenly change, so it will continue the current to flow further. So this current will continue to flow because of the energy which is in the form of magnetic field, and that magnetic field will continue current to flow, or will continue electrons to displace from here to here. So because of this, what would happen is, as long as there is magnetic field here, electrons get displaced from here to here, and when this was electrically neutral, this had become zero, but magnetic field did not allow this to process to stop, so it continued electrons to pump further. And now what happened is the whole thing reversed. So electrons from here, even after this become electrically neutral, continued to be pumped out because of this magnetic field, and hence only excess protons are remaining here and excess electrons are here. So the polarity of this capacitor gets again charged, but in the opposite direction. Now we get again equal charge in the opposite direction. So what happens? The magnetic field will finally exhaust its energy by pumping extra electrons, and once the magnetic field ceases, then again electric field comes into existence, and it says that yes, there is imbalance on two plates. So the capacitor now says, I am not satisfied. I want these excess electrons to be moved back to the other plate. Therefore, now the whole process will start. Now the electrons start moving in the reverse direction. The electrons start moving in the reverse direction, because now this plate is negatively charged, this plate is positively charged. So to balance that, the electrons start moving in this direction, which means the current is flowing now in this direction. In doing so, these excess negative charges get reduced, this excess positive charges get balanced by these added electrons, and hence this this keeps reducing, therefore Vc gets reducing and reducing and reducing, and this continues till it becomes zero. By the time this becomes zero, the inductor has gained magnetic energy, and this magnetic energy will not allow this current to suddenly stop. Therefore, it wants this current to continue, which means it wants the electrons to flow in this direction, and again it will not allow this flow to stop. Therefore, this, though the two plates were electrically neutral here, but this process of magnetic field will not allow electrons to stop moving. It will make electrons to move further, and hence electrons become deficient here, electron become again excess here. So finally, by the time this magnetic energy ceases, this has gained back its potential in this form. So this is going positive, this has become negative, and again same Vc. So that's where we had started. So what will happen? Again same thing. These electrons will start moving back. This current will flow. Magnetic energy gets created, and when electric field becomes zero, magnetic field does not allow it to stop flow of current. That will make the electrons to move further, charge it in the reverse direction. When magnetic field ceases, there is electric field, and electric field will not allow this to be in stable state. So another reverse current starts, and then magnetic field created. Magnetic field will not allow current to stop, so it will create electric field. Electric field will create current. Current will create magnetic field. Magnetic field will maintain the current, and hence a reverse electric field is created, and this process continues on and on and on and on. One time this direction, one time this direction, and that continues. Yes, I hope you are confused. Definitely, without our regular example, we will not be happy in understanding. So let us take an example of our regular pendulum. Pull it, so the pendulum comes here, and by the time pendulum comes here, it has gained potential energy, and this higher potential energy compared to this level will not allow it to stay here. It wants to be at this position, therefore it starts moving downwards. By the time it reaches this position, it has gained full velocity, and this velocity will not allow the pendulum to stop here. Though it has gained minimum potential energy, it cannot stop here, and it continues to move. And this moves and moves, and finally, when the pendulum comes here, this has gained again the equal potential energy, and this potential energy will not allow this pendulum to be at this position, so it will create a reverse motion. When this comes here with minimum potential energy, we have kinetic energy. It has gained velocity because of the momentum. It cannot stop here, it continues. And when reaches here, velocity becomes zero, but has gained potential energy, and potential energy will not allow it to stop here. It will continue to move. When it comes here, we'll have maximum kinetic energy. So there is exchange of kinetic energy into potential energy into kinetic energy, and this process continues on and on and on. And this makes the pendulum to oscillate again and again and again. And that's best analogy I can talk about this. The voltage across capacitor is nothing but our potential energy. That's where we had started our journey. And because it was having some extra potential energy, it could not be in equilibrium, and hence the current started. Current started means something, motion started, that means there's a beginning of kinetic energy, and when the potential energy ceased to minimum, the kinetic energy was at its maximum, and because of that it could not stop here. It continued to move in the reverse direction and created a reverse potential energy as it did here. Reverse potential energy is created, and then the direction of the motion changes. That's the direction of the current changes. And when it comes here, that means when this potential is zero, it cannot stop. It continues to charge in the reverse direction and gets back to this situation, and then cannot be here, it comes back, cannot stop here, continues, cannot be here, comes back, cannot stop here, continues. So here we have potential, here energy, here we have kinetic energy, here we have potential energy. So this exchange of energy in terms of potential to kinetic, kinetic to potential, potential to kinetic, and this continues. So potential energy becomes kinetic energy gets back into potential energy, and this cycle gets repeated again and again and again, and because of which what we see is this. Because of this what we see is this wonder. The position of this, if I plot, then it started in this position. So if I consider this position, then it increases, then decreases back to its original place, then goes in the reverse direction, reaches the maximum, then comes back to zero position, then gets back into reverse direction, then back, and this continues. So this way, if you initiate the if you initiate this LC parallel circuit with some voltage across the capacitor, this is what is going to happen. And we have considered that there is no lossy element, no resistive element here, and hence this continues to go forever. But that's not the real case, because the pendulum cannot oscillate forever, it has to stop somewhere. So the actual thing, if you look at the pendulum action, is going to be a damped oscillation, because there is resistance at this point at the hinge, there is air resistance, so which is slowing down, and this is what happens. And similar effect we can see here when there is a resistive element here, but now we are considering an ideal L and C, and that's why we can say that there is no change in the amplitude. It keeps on producing indefinitely sinusoidal signal of frequency whose radial frequency is given by root of LC, 1 by root LC, or F is given by 1 by 2 pi root LC. So depending on value of L and C, we can create oscillations. So that's the foundation of generating oscillations. That's what we see in our next coming units. So that's about LC circuit. This is because the two components are energy storing. One stores in the potential form, other stores in the kinetic form, and that's what is going to create these wonders. So more details to follow. Till then, take care. Bye. See you.